All right, let's dive into a really fascinating company that's right at the heart of India's defense modernization. We're talking about data patterns. Now, if you're an investor and that whole self-reliant India theme has caught your eye, then you absolutely need to get what these guys are all about. So let's get right into it. So take a look at this. What you're seeing here is the company's incredible facility down in Chennai. But don't just think of it as a factory. It's so much more. This is a place where they dream up, design, build, and test everything, all under one roof. It's the core of their whole philosophy, complete control from the very first idea to the final product. Okay, so what's our take on data patterns? Let's put it right on the table. We see them as a vertically integrated powerhouse. And what does that mean? It means they're not just growing financially and growing fast, but they've also built this incredible technology moat around their business, an in-house advantage that makes it really, really tough for anyone else to compete. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at their role as a premier defense partner. Then we'll get into their financial strength. Third, we'll check out their future revenue certainty. Number 4 is the secret sauce, that in-house technology moat. Then we'll see how they're built for scalable growth. And finally, we'll wrap it up with the key investor takeaway. First things first, you have to understand where this company fits in the grand scheme of things. Data Patterns is a massive player in India's Atmnirbhar Bharat initiative, the big push for a self-reliant India. They're not just a supplier. They're on the front lines, creating the homegrown tech that means India doesn't have to rely on foreign countries. So what kind of stuff are we talking about? Well, think about the most high-tech, brainy parts of any defense system. We're talking super sophisticated radars, electronic warfare systems that can outsmart the enemy, and the avionics that act as the nervous system for an aircraft. And the key thing is, Data Patterns does the whole shebang, from start to finish, all in-house. Okay, that's a great story. But as investors, we need to know, do the numbers back it up? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the financials, because what you're about to see is pretty compelling. Just look at this revenue chart. It tells you almost everything you need to know. We're seeing a climb from 227 crores back in fiscal 21, all the way to a projected 755 crores in fiscal 25. I mean, that's not just a gentle slope. That's a steep, consistent climb. It's a clear signal of huge demand and really solid execution. And it gets better. It's one thing to sell more, but it's another to earn more. And their earnings are right there with the revenue. Take a look at the EBITDA, which is basically their core operational profit. You see that exact same powerful upward trend. This is what you call healthy, profitable growth. Now, this is the kind of slide that gets investors excited. In just 1 year, from 23 to 24, their gross margin jumped from 62 to 68%, and their overall EBITDA margin went from 38 to 43%. What does that mean? It means they're getting more efficient. They're squeezing more profit out of every single rupee they make. That's huge. All right, so the past performance is impressive, no doubt. But the big question for any investor is always, what's next? Well, lucky for us, the company's order book gives us a pretty clear peek into the future. Get it a load this number. As of March 2024, Data Patterns was sitting on an order book worth over 1,080 crore rupees. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky forecast. These are signed, sealed contracts. It gives them incredible visibility into their revenue for years to come. But if we slice up that pie, it gets even more interesting. Sure, 45% is for producing stuff right now. But look at that bigger slice. 51% is for development contracts. This is where they're in the lab, working hand in hand with their clients to invent the next generation of defense tech. So here's the kicker. That 51% isn't just a one-time thing. Think of it like planting seeds. When Data Patterns nails a development project, who do you think gets the massive contract to actually build it? They do. These development deals, which usually take about 2-3 years to mature, are the foundation for tomorrow's big-ticket production revenues. And that leads us to the real heart of the matter, their technology moat. I mean, how do they keep winning these deals and maintaining those amazing margins? Well, it all comes down to how they handle their technology. This quote from the company says it all, really. They're not just screwing together parts from other countries, they design and own every single piece of the puzzle. That complete ownership of their intellectual property, well, that's a competitive advantage that's almost impossible to beat. So their moat really rests on 4 strong pillars. They've got proven in-house design. They have a library of over 1,000 reusable building blocks. Think of it like high-tech Lego that lets them develop new things way faster. They have world-class expertise in really tough fields like radar. And it's all vertically integrated. It's a killer combination. And hey, this isn't just some theory on a PowerPoint slide. All this R&D leads to real working tech. A perfect example is their advanced precision approach radars. These are mission-critical systems out in the field right now, helping pilots land safely no matter the weather. It's proof that their model actually works. Okay, so we've got fantastic financials and a deep tech advantage. But here's the question that keeps smart investors up at night. Can they actually handle all this growth without stumbling? This is where their really unique management approach is so important. They've got this awesome concept they call the pit stop. And yeah, it's inspired by Formula One racing. They literally pause on purpose to check every system, fine-tune every process, and make sure the whole company is ready for the next lap of high-speed growth. It's about getting stronger from the inside out. So why should you as an investor care about some internal meeting? Because it's a huge de-risking strategy. It's how they make sure that as the company gets bigger and more complex, the wheels don't fall off. It protects the quality and the efficiency that drive those impressive margins we just talked about. All right, let's bring it all home. We've covered a lot of ground, so let's boil it down to the key takeaway. What's the one thing you need to remember about data patterns? Here's the whole story in a nutshell. 1. You've got a company with rock-solid financials and margins that are getting better. 2. You have amazing visibility into future sales thanks to a huge order book. 3. They have a deep, defensible technology moat that they built themselves. And 4. You have a smart management team that's obsessed with growing the right way. So I'll leave you with a final big picture thought. As data patterns continues to prove itself in one of the world's most complex defense markets, you have to ask, could their all-in-one design-to-delivery model become the new gold standard for the entire world? Because if it does, that's not just an Indian success story. That's a blueprint that could change the game everywhere. And that is the long-term potential here.